Here until 6, you're listening to JM Talkback with J-Man on 979 FM.
The number again, if you'd like to get involved in the conversation, 9747 8500. Joining me on the line now, Melton Shire Councillor Sophie Ramsey. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, J-Man. How are you?
I'm very well, Councillor. How are you?
I've had better days, but I'm okay.
Now, I understand that in urgent business at a council meeting the other night, council moved 2 motions. Can you explain that to us?
Yes, I presented to council 2 urgent motions. One, the first being that council immediately set up meetings with the administrator, with the Prime Minister, with the Premier, with relevant ministers and also upper and lower house ministers to start urgent talks to see if we could allow Mowbray to continue as a school till the end of the school year of 2012 and then look at the best possible approach for a bipartisan approach to this with some suitable outcomes for whatever school services were to go on beyond that time.
Oh, and you moved that motion in particular because to you, Mowbray College is an important part of this community.
Well, J-Man, there are 1,246 students there, 100 which are going to start BCE exams this week. There are 222 staff and teachers, and it has a 30-plus year history within our community. Melton Shire Council benchmarks itself as a lifelong learning hub. This is the hallmark or the cornerstone, and that we really need to. We're focusing on that. Our community plan, our community learning plan. I'm sorry, the beats are a bit. They're putting me off my train of thought. But the community learning plan has allowed for educational choices. It has said lifelong learning is the cornerstone of our future generations, and we've been state and federally, we've been awarded prizes and held in high esteem as a result of this. Our growth corridor, when you expect 60,000 people to be coming into our growth corridor, they need to be able to be provided with educational choices. At the moment, we have BU closed their doors, and we have the Trade Training Centre that is getting lesser funds. Now we're looking at our only non-denominational school having to close its doors as of tomorrow. In this growth corridor, in the fastest or the second fastest growth municipality in Australia, you want more educational choices. You want to enhance and embrace those educational choices. You don't want to limit them or expel them completely. And that's why I'm asking, Mr. Baillieu was on the radio last week saying that Mowbray was on educational precinct land, and that provided some hope for the future. Prime Minister Gillard gives a lot of money in foreign aid, and I applaud her and the government for that. $500 million has gone for 2,000 schools over in Indonesia, so they can have the educational choices. So really, at the end of the day, I have 1,246 students that desperately want to have an education. They love their school. They want to learn. They are the innocent victims in all this. And then I moved a second motion, which was to immediately start or to initiate a change to the Melton's planning scheme to rezone Mowbray Patterson Campus from residential 1 to a special use zone, in brackets, for educational purposes.
Yes, because, of course, what the Premier said on Melbourne radio the other day, and I heard that interview myself, in fact wasn't correct, was it?
No, because at the moment there is an educational overlay in the Caroline Springs campuses of Town Centre and Brookside, but because Patterson Campus has been a school for 30 years, no one's even thought about what it's been zoned as, and everybody's just assumed it was educational precinct or special use zone, but in fact it wasn't, it was residential 1. And so we moved to do that purely because that's what that's what the purpose has been. The infrastructure's there. It has a glowing 30-year history, and a very proud one at that. All I am crying out for at the moment is that the NAB Bank, Cameron Klein and everybody around him need to really put testimony to what they say on the radio and what they say on television, if they truly believe in education and educate the schools first, and also building up confidence of our young children and allowing their education to go undisturbed, then please do not do this to Mowbray College. 1,246 students and families are suffering today because they're in disbelief, they're in shock. 100 plus students are starting the biggest exams of their lives, and they're in turmoil. Whereas for them to have the freedom to be able to do their best, to take their place in society, they are now currently wondering where their home's going to be. We have community groups out there, such as the radio station, such as the Melton Hockey Club, such as gymnastics, that don't even know where their homes are going to be, where their relocation options are going to be. The buildings at Patterson Campus they're the Norman Day buildings, and they've got a local significance because the architect at the time was seemed to be cutting edge. There's a lot of factors. I want the biggest thing, J-Man, if I can call you that, love, is the state government are going to spend in excess of $11 million of taxpayers' money to get even half the school community back into the public system. We've got 222 staff and teachers that are going to be looking for other opportunities or are going to be unemployed. We need them to seriously look at some options. We need the NAB Bank. We need the Premier.
If I can grab you there just for a second, you just mentioned $11 million. That's what it's going to cost to relocate the students into new educational facilities. Is that right?
A lot of accounting firms have done the number crunching, and some have said that even half the community, so even say 600 of the kids to go back into the public system, it would cost in excess of $10 million.
Well, surely it would cost less than that for the state government to prop the school up till the end of the year and until the business can be consolidated to one campus or something.
That's all we're asking for, is that everybody down tools, get everybody together. Let's leave politics at the door, because this really is something that's important to this corridor, into this growth corridor. We need to have more educational opportunities, not less. There are 1,246 innocent standbys, innocent victims to this at the moment, and we need the state government to come to the table. We need the NAB to come to the table. We need the Prime Minister to come to the table, and we need we need time to be able to evaluate each and every opportunity that's placed before us and look for the best outcomes for our growing community.
So in your view and in the view of the Melton Shire Council, do you believe this situation can be fixed?
I think today or tomorrow will mark a very sad day in the history of Melton if this is allowed to close. I mean, when you look at the timeline, J-Man, the board announced it was likely to go into voluntary administration Monday the 28th of May. On the 29th, which is a Tuesday, they went into voluntary administration. They appointed J.P. Downing. Within the school community was seeking support from the state government, the federal government, and the NAB to continue until the end of the year. But no one came to the party. No adequate funds were made available for this to occur. So Friday, less than 3 days of taking it on, J.P. Downing announced that the prep to year 10 would, effectively the school would be closed as its close of business tomorrow.
So we need to get these people around the table.
We need to get everybody around the table. The costs to the community are going to be far out. They're going to be far more by trying to get these group of kids into the public system. The public system is going to be overcrowded, for one. So every person out there, it's not a public school, private school debate. It's not a Caroline Springs versus Melton debate. It is not about where did the money go. Other people will investigate that at a later date. What it is about, it is going to now cost valuable dollars, community ratepayers, taxpayers' dollars in finding an outcome to this. And if the state government's prepared to pay in excess of $11 million to put 1,246 kids into the public system and maintain the livelihood of 222 staff and teachers, and allow this to close, it's a very sad day for education.
Yeah, very sad. And look, it doesn't surprise me that you haven't been able to get these people around the table. I sent communications to just about all of them myself during the week, requesting them to come on the program and offer comment. I didn't have a response from one of them. So the real tragedy here is that no one's going to step in and do anything here. They're just washing their hands of it, apparently.
Everybody sees it as a business and a private business, but okay, it's a business, it's a private school, but it's in the business of education. And,
yes.
And there are 1,246 children, young adults there that are only looking for an education. The state government's portfolio is education and looking after the future for educating our youth, allowing them the confidence and the flexibility to take up whatever career or choice in life they have, and giving them the best possible outcomes.
Yeah, I made the very same point myself at the top of the program. This isn't just a business. This is an important educational piece of infrastructure, and this is a community and a family as well.
It is, and it's splintering the community, it really is, and I don't want to see that happen. The debates that are going on across Melton are being divisive. They're not being being helpful at this moment. There are 1,200. Look, anecdotally, J-Man, I've had a lot of families ring me up, families that have tried to get their children in schools. There might be a place for the preppy, but there may not be a place for the one that's in grade 2 or grade 6 or year 7 or year 9. They have other public systems which were giving guarantees that they would accommodate. Some of the public schools can't even start children at that school until after term 3. So really, effectively, everybody's under pressure. There is so much turmoil happening out there that it's not funny, and the cost is to the greater community. As class sizes grow to accommodate for these 1,246 kids, we're going to have everybody in the public system screaming. We've got 120 families in Melton Hockey Club that are going to want a home. They've got their schedule of games, if nothing more. But more importantly, and most importantly, 100 plus children are about to start their VCE exams. And after, they can sit the exams at the school, but at the tail end of this term, that door shuts. They still haven't got a home. They haven't got the teachers that have been guiding them through this year, and it's one of the hardest years of their lives. And there's going to be an emotional cost and account to all this as well. And so
absolutely,
it creates havoc and turmoil everywhere I look. And unfortunately, for the last 10 days, I've done very little else but listen to parents and listen to grandparents, listen to kids. I mean, I've had cards given to me with handprints on them saying, could you please help me save my school? Now, that makes me, as a mother of 3 beautiful girls, that is heartbreaking. And the community need to not worry about whether it's public, private or whatever else. It's about our extended family. they're part of the Melton family, and we all need to get in behind them and actually make the leaders of all levels of government and the NAB Bank stand up and take notice, listen to us and really rally behind us, because at the end of the day, the ethos of the NAB Bank, the ethos of the state government, the ethos of Mowbray College is all the same. It's about giving our young people the confidence and the avenues in which to learn and study in a safe and healthy environment. Now, I don't know why they're all not around the table.
Me either.
Being prepared to come to some, looking at all these different options. I'm sorry, I think I've just blown your ear off here.
That's okay, Councillor. You're obviously very emotional about this, very passionate about it. And well, thank you very much for your time. I'm sure yourself and the council will continue to do whatever you can. I know it's largely out of the council's hands, but...
We're looking for every opportunity in which to be able to help if we can, but in that line it's just basically in advocacy, trying to get everybody around the table, trying to look seriously at what options are there and to best placed to get a good outcome for the community as a whole, and predominantly to make sure that these 1,246 kids that have started at Mowbray this year and have had every assurance from every level that it's going to be there for the 12 months, that they have a happy year and are educated with the teachers they love and adore. Can I just, in closing, J-Man, to put out a big thank you to the parent groups and the teachers and the staff. They're all doing a fantastic job, and the students are coping to the best of their abilities under these very difficult circumstances. And I really take my hat off to them, because at all the public forums, they've been articulate. The students have been so, they've put their points across. They've thanked their teachers. They've rallied around the staff, and they've rallied around one another. And their coping mechanism has been absolutely second to none.
Well, congratulations on the steps that yourself and council have taken so far, and as I said, I'm sure you'll keep working for the best outcome and advocating and doing everything that you can. And thank you very much for your time this afternoon, Councillor.
Anytime, Jaden. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was Melton Shire Councillor Sophie Ramsey, obviously very passionate about the issue at Mowbray College, and echoing many of my own sentiments too. 97478500, 97478500 if you'd like to join the conversation.